What up YouTube, and welcome back collectors. It's Patrick, also known as Cardboard P, back with another video. In today's video, we'll be traveling back in time to the year 2000 to open up a Japanese Gold Silver to a New World booster pack. This is the Japanese equivalent to Neo Genesis, which was the first set of the Neo era, and it's also referred to as Neo 1, but this pack has a guaranteed holo in it, so I'm very excited to open this, and that will be the last pack in today's video, so we'll go ahead and prop him up in the background. And before we get started, I wanted to showcase a card from my personal collection from Neo Genesis. This is the Slowking Holo in a mint 9. Has a very nice swirl underneath him. He's standing on business, standing on the swirl. But this is a beautiful card, so I wanted to showcase this card as this is the one that I have from the English equivalent. And we'll go ahead and prop him up in the background as good luck. And I can't break into a 25-year-old pack without some warm-up packs, so in today's video we'll have some warm-ups with 12 packs. We have 6 Temporal Forces and 6 Journey Together, so we'll go ahead and break into those packs to get our hands warmed up, and I'll go over some information for our vintage set, Gold Silver to a New World or Neo Genesis. We'll go ahead and kick things off with Temporal Forces. So there's a guaranteed holo in the Gold Silver to a New World booster pack, and I'm very excited to see what holo we do pull. So there are 16 total holos, there are 96 cards total, and 15 of those holos are Pokemon. There is a chance that we get a holo energy card, which would be a little bit of an L, but at the end of the day, whatever the holo in that pack is, I'm going to grade it, as it's a great memory, and I can't believe I have the opportunity to open up such an old pack 25 years after the release. So we have the Scyther on the first one, and then the Relicanth. But the Neo era is one of my favorite and most nostalgic eras. There are a ton of great artworks from artists like Yuka Morii, Tomokazu Kamiya, as well as Kagamaru Himeno and Atsuko Nishida. They have some very good cards in this, as well as the introduction of one of my favorite artists, Yuka Morii. And another cool thing about the Neo sets is it was the introduction of the second generation, the Johto Pokemon, as well as the baby Pokemon and the dark and metal type. So we pulled a dark type out of one of our warm-ups, so this is the Paldean Clodsire EX, and we'll go ahead and sleeve this one up and add it to our background behind our good luck Slowking and move into our next pack. But there's some great cards that you can pull out of Japanese Neo Genesis, the main one being the Lugia, which will be an incredible pull to have. But you can also get the Johto starters. There's a Kingdra I'm very excited to see if we pull. We have a Yuka Morii artwork on this one, so hoping to pull a few cool commons and uncommons. And then the Japanese side of things, there are also some cards that are banned. So there are 3 banned cards in this set, so it would be very cool to pull one of those, as they did not get a printing in English, just because we'll see if we can pull one, and I'll go over a little bit more detail, but some involving gambling, which at the end of the day, opening packs is a gamble, so it's funny that they banned that card in English, even though buying packs are a gamble in itself. And then another one by Tomokazu Kamiya is the Moo Moo Milk, and it got a changed artwork for the English side of things. So we'll go ahead and move through these. I'm looking forward to seeing what commons and uncommons we get, and I'll probably skip over and go a little bit faster through some of these packs. But like I said, the Lugia is the main chase, and then you also have the Johto starters, so Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr, so it'd be super cool to pull one of those. In the Neo sets, Neo 1 was also the introduction of the baby Pokemon, so it would be very cool to pull the Pichu, a classic Yuka Morii artwork. And there are just some great cards, and I'm very excited that in the year 2025, 25 years after release, we'll be opening a great vintage pack. And we do have our second hit, which is another EX. So this is the Koraidon, so we'll go ahead and grab a sleeve for this one, stick him in the background, and then see if Journey Together has anything in our warm-up packs. We're still searching for a special illustration rare from this set, hoping to pull one soon, but I'm very excited to get into that vintage pack. We'll do a few peeks here and see if we can pull anything. Looks like we do have an illustration rare out of this one. So we got the Impidimp into the Swinub. So I know for a fact that there is the possibility of a Swinub in the vintage pack for today. So this could be a good omen that we may pull the vintage artwork to go with the modern artwork. I do really like this illustration rare. Reminds me of the late winter or the fall when the snow falls. But a beautiful card, so we'll go ahead and sleeve that one up and put it in front of our EXs. Move into Temporal Forces, which is a great set. My parents are still here visiting, so they're as excited as I am to see what's inside this vintage pack. But last time they were here, we opened a bunch of Temporal Forces, and my mom pulled the Bianca's Devotion Special Illustration Rare. So I'm a big fan of that card in my collection. Looks like we got an EX, we got the Vikavolt, the Mightyena, into the Farigiraf. Palindrome, not too sure how to pronounce this one. This is one of the new forms, but a dark Pokemon, and I believe there is a Draft Rig in Neo 1, so we'll see if we can pull that as well. But like I said, there are some great holos, hoping for pretty much anything besides the energy, but even if we do pull the energy, we'll be on the lookout for some swirls or just any cool commons and uncommons from my collection. They have a lot of the first prints of some of my favorite Pokemon, like the Noctowl I would love to pull. There's also a very cool Horsey. We got the AO card into the Bombardier, and then the Lily's Rabombi. I really do like this holo. Kind of takes inspiration with the colors from her outfit in the background, but a very cool card. And we're winding down. My hands are already shaking. Just thinking about what holo is in that. So in these Japanese packs, you are guaranteed a holo, and it will be the first card. So the pack trick will be one from the front to the back, and we'll see if we can pull that Lugia. That would be the pull of a lifetime. And we got another illustration rare, this time the Charjabug. Very cute one. Looks like he's on a camping trip into the Dunsparce. So we're doing pretty good on the warm-up packs. But pretty much all that matters is what's in that final pack, so I cannot wait to open that up. We'll add him to the background. And we got 3 packs left, 2 more Journey Together, 1 Temporal Forces, and then the Vintage. This set came out in February of 2000, so this pack is quite old. Old enough to drink a beer. And we're kicking this one off with one of my favorite starters, the Torchic. But I would love to pull any of the starters out of that Neo pack. And a lot of the holographic cards in that, we got another reverse AO, are illustrated by one of my favorite artists, Yuka Morii. So it'd be cool to pull one of his cards. There's other artists like Atsuko Nishida, who has some great artworks in this one. And then that Lugia, which we'll see if we can pull this. I've been looking forward to this pack. It's been marinating in my office for the past 5 months. We got the Torracat, the Pidove, into the Iron Thorns, and then we have our last warm-up pack. We'll see if we can pull a special illustration rare, and then it's time to kick it old school, head back to the year 2000, and open some vintage. My hands are shaking already. And we'll slow roll this one and then get cleaned up here and crack into that pack and hope for the Lugia. Got Iono's Electrode, the Alolan Marowak, the Morgrim, and then the Hops Dubwool. So we'll go ahead, slide these cards off to the side, and then we'll break into that pack. We'll go ahead and take this off the mantle and we'll look at it in all its glory. We got the king himself, Lugia, on the front, as well as the Johto starters. So I believe there's 10 cards in this, and then the holo in the pack will be the first card, so we'll do the card trick. But just want to document such a cool pack that I've loved having in my collection, and I can't wait to open it and see what's inside. Chance at the Pichu, like I said, the starters and Lugia, so we'll go ahead, remove it from the sleeve, and then we'll try to save the pack art as much as we can and break into this pack. Hands are shaking. This pack has been sealed for quite a long time. I'm trying to save the pack art. These Japanese packs are pretty hard to open, but I don't want to destroy the front of it or spoil the card. So we're breaking into this. 25 years old. Slide the cards out. Then this will be our holo, so we'll slide that to the back. And off we go. Just beautiful vintage artworks. We have the Mary by Yuka Morii in the first pack. The Snubble, a Mitsuhiro Arita artwork. The Electabuzz, very cool one. I just love these vintage artworks. Banger, we got the Horsey. I love this artwork, so I'm very happy I get to add this one to my binder by Miki Tonaka, as well as the Neo Genesis set symbol. We got the Gliscor by Hironobu Yoshida. I believe they are the artists that illustrated the Lugia. And our fifth card is another our sixth card is another Yuka Morii Ariados. We got the Berry. Love this card by Tomokazu Kamiya, the Pokemon March. Got the Hoodoo, the Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Mareep, the Murkrow up in the tree. Beautiful artwork on this card, and I'm very happy that I pulled this one. Then we got the Pokédex, and I believe the next card will be it. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So this will be our holo. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy the content. I have another Neo vintage pack that I'll be opening next month. There's nothing more we can wait for, so let's rip it. And we got the Pichu with a swirl. Oh. Yuka Morii on the artwork. I absolutely love this card. This will definitely be getting graded and added to my collection. Just a beautiful card with a nice full swirl up at the top. But this was the introduction of the baby Pokemon, so I could not be more happy that we pulled the Pichu. The first time they printed these out, but Yuka Morii, love the way he shades and his outlines with these watercolors. And just the holofoil on this one with the red going into the blue. This is a beautiful card, so we'll go ahead and get a little bit of a close-up. Try to keep my hand as stable as possible. Just a banger card, and honestly, one of the top 5 that I was hoping for. We didn't get the Lugia, but this is a great pull, and I'm super excited to add this one to my collection, so this will be going straight to my grading pile. Slide them into the sleeve. Very happy that it does have a swirl. I'm a huge swirl collector, and this is just a beautiful card. So we'll go ahead and get cleaned up here and then move into our recap. And moving into our recap, out of the 12 warm-up packs, we got 5 hits, so we did pretty great. We got the Paldean Clodsire EX, the Koraidon EX, the Farigiraf, and then 2 great illustration rares, the Charjabug Camping, which is a great illustration rare, and my favorite of the 2, the Swinub. This reminds me of the Neo era, and just a very beautiful artwork, so I was very happy to pull this one. And then out of our Japanese Gold Silver to a New World booster pack, I pulled 2 cards that I'm very happy to add. I'll be keeping all of the cards that we pulled in my binder, but these are my 2 favorites. We have the Pokemon March by Tomokazu Kamiya. I think this is a beautiful card, and the artwork on it is incredible. They just don't make cards like this anymore. Just beautiful vintage artwork with the set symbol. Very happy that I pulled this one, and it may be getting added to my grading pile. And then my favorite pull of today's video is the Pichu Holo. Very nice swirl up top. One of my favorite artworks from this set. And Yuka Morii, my favorite artist, so I'm very happy to add this one to my collection. It was very fun having my parents here watching me open this pack. It brought me back and felt like the year 2000 when I was opening them as a kid. So very fortunate that I was able to open another one in the year 2025, 25 years after the set released. And we got a great pull and one of my new favorite cards, but a beautiful artwork, and I'm very happy that I was able to add this to our collection. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy the content, and stay tuned for next month. I'll be opening another vintage Japanese booster pack. This time Neo 2, we got Crossing the Ruins, so some evolution chances and more beautiful artworks. So once again, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like and make sure to subscribe for more content in the future. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.